What's up, everyone? Ben Barrows, aka Random Crown, back for part 6 of the $22 Mini Monday 6 Max hand history review. If you guys haven't seen all of the parts leading up to now, I encourage you to go back and check them out before proceeding so we are all on the same page. If you remember from the last video, we were pretty short and now have less than 5 blinds with our ace jack under the gun. So we do the only thing we can do. We shippity dip it in and we get called, and thankfully Haiti hold against the ace 5 to double up and get back in this thing. Now we pick up the pocket trees in the BB, facing a raise from UTG, so we fliggity flat, getting okay odds, and we just muck when there's 3 overs and they see bet. Their range is definitely favored on a king high board, so nothing else we can do except fold and move on to the next one. Queen 4 here in the BP. Looks like it's to defend against this button open. It looks like we won a previous hand too. What happened here, guys? 60 suited. 10-7 suited. Okay. So it's... What's the cutoff in min raises? Right. 60s. We don't play the 90s. We play the 4-5. Interesting. Yeah, this has happened before. Like, we'll have a couple hands that just seem to be missing. See, like right here, we have 76k. We don't play this hand. And then the next hand, we have 160k. So, there seem to be some missing hands there. I have no idea where they went. This happened in the $4 Bounty Builder hand history review as well. I went from like 750k to 650k just from one hand to the next. So it seems like, yeah, there's just some hands missing from this file. Don't know where they went, but it doesn't really affect the overall review, so we'll just keep going on. Button min opens, we have queen 4 in the BB. We just defend, since they'll surely be raising worse hands than queen high. And we just get an ace jack 8 rainbow. A couple of backdoor straight draws are not going to get enough for us to proceed with. So we just muck it and move on to the next one. Now we have 5-6 suited here in the SB, and we only have 14 blinds, so this is good enough to ship it in. But instead of going all the way all in, we just like raise about half our stack. That way we maximize our fold equity against the BB's calling range. Like if they have something like maybe like king 7 off, or maybe even like ace deuce off, they might just make the tight fold because they don't want to get it in against us because we're obviously committed, and maybe they think that when we just raise half our stack, it's on the stronger end of our range, so they'll fold some of the more marginal value hands. And so that's why we just raise this amount rather than just go all in, and we get it through. Queen 10 on the buttons, just a muck against this cutoff raise. Folds to us in the small blind again. We just do the exact same thing we just talked about, raise half our stack with queen 5 suited, just to maximize fold equity, and we get it through. Now we have pocket 7s on the cutoff, facing a open from under the gun +1, and they're going to be raising pretty wide here. 7s is surely out of their range, so we just ship it in with our roughly 15 BB stack and take it down for a healthy pot. Now you have 7-9 suited. See, like, what happened right there, guys? Well, yeah, see, we have 193k. Now we go to the next hand. We have 75k. WTF, mate? We're just missing some hands here. Sorry, guys, but don't know where they went, so just bear with us. I think it only happens a few times and again, it doesn't really affect the overall result of the tournament. Still plenty of hands for us to go through. So yeah, we just ship it in here with 7-9 suited, since yeah, like we're less than 10 BB effective, and 7-9 suited plays pretty well as an all-in. So yeah, again, instead of raising the full amount, we just make it 50k to maximize hold equity, and BB just gets it in with us. We flop a 9, and good enough to take it down against the king queen. We got the queen 3 suited in the SB. Got a fold against UTG riggedy raise though. Pocket 7s again, under the gun this time. With 15 blinds, this is a pretty easy all-in, so we do so and just get it through. We have ace-9 to the SB. Again, about 15 BB effective, maybe about 16. It's going to play very well as an all-in, blind versus blind. And the reason why we just go all-in rather than raise half our stack like we have been doing is because ace-9 is more of a value hand than the other hands that we were playing, and we would prefer to actually get called. So instead of trying to, fold out the marginal value hands by raising half our stack like before, we go all in to encourage those same hands to call us, because now we're actually ahead of them. Ace-5 off in the BB, facing a shippity dip from the button for a little less than 15 BB, and just gonna be fold. Ace-5 may be ahead of their range there, but it's still gonna just play too marginally, so better to just wait for a more clear spot, or just if we're gonna get in 15 BB with Ace-5, we prefer to be the one shipping it. If it was like blind versus blind, then we'd probably call it off. And having said that, it can't be that bad to call it off against the button, because they are going to be shoving pretty wide. But yeah, I can see it going either way. I think it's fine to fold though. It's a marginal call for sure. So 9 suited, yeah. We could have shipped that on the cutoff. I think it'd be fine. About 12 blinds. But I think folding's fine too. We definitely don't take every single mathematical edge in this tournament, and we do our fair share of sucking out. So yeah, you definitely say we ran good and didn't play perfectly to win this, but that's just how tournaments go sometimes. At least we have a full hand history to share with you. So even though we didn't play every hand perfectly, at least we have some interesting theoretical spots to discuss. Ace-9 off there. Again, it's not even worthy of discussion. It's so standard. We just ship it in for 11.5 blinds on the cutoff, get it through. Yeah, it really does not get much more standard than that. King-Jack off under the gun here. We opt to fold, since we have 5 people left to act, and it's not going to play that great against everyone's calling range. It's kind of close. If we had king queen, we'd ship it, and it's not that bad at all in, but I think it's just on the more marginal side, so it's fine to just pass it up. If we were on the cutoff, it'd be like a clear all in. 6-Jack, not really good enough to defend against under the gun open. Yeah, just tuning reverse implied odds, even though we're getting a good price from the BB. Now we have Ace-10 off on the button. Facing a hijack open. And yeah, we're just ahead of this guy's range, so we just decided to get it in, figuring they could still call us off the worst, and they'll fold a lot like they do. And so we chip up a decent amount. King-Jack on the cutoff now, just like we discussed. Yeah, this is a much more attractive spot for us to go all in rather than under the gun. Less people left to act, and their calling ranges will be a little wider, so King-Jack will just fare better once we're all in. And thankfully we don't have to be. We just ship the bleezies. Now we got the Ace-8 suited into Big Beezy, facing a raise from under the geezy. Small bleezy calls as well. Get a 5 queen queen rainbow. And just figgy fold to the c-bet and call. Ace-7 off on the cutoff. Easy all in for about 11 blinds. Button snap ISOs. We bink an ace on the flop, and fortunately that was good enough to suck out against the pocket eights. Told you we ran good in this tournament, folks. Now 6-5 off here on the button is just fold against this cutoff opening. And yeah, against these stacks too, I think it's probably best to just fold when it folds to us, just because they're going to be shipping it in over button open so much, just because they know it'll be just pretty light. Which is why, yeah, we fold the king 3 suited here in the cutoff too. Stacks are deeper, we raise, but just button, small blind, and big blind, all just great stacks to rip it over us. So we decided to just save some chips, just muck initially. And now we have this king jack suited under the gun. Easy open, but standard fold once we get shipped on by the cutoff. Especially after the BB calls. The BB or the small blind, excuse me. Jack 10 on the cutoff. Easy open. He calls in the BB. And Almi is a very, very good player. Spoiler alert, we actually go heads up in this later. And we just take it down with a standard 40% c-bet, 40% pot c-bet. Yeah, it's a good board to do it on ace high. They're just going to be peeling so wide out of the BB. We have 10-8 suited under the gun. We could raise that, but we decided not to because there's a lot of stacks that cover us, and LME has a lot of chips on the button. So we prefer to avoid playing pots with him, especially when he's in position. King 8 suited on the cutoff. And again, this would be an open usually, but because we only have about 20 and a half BB, and the button, small and big blinds all cover us by a decent amount, we just decide to take the nitty approach and just open fold it, just because we figured they're gonna like play back at us too much, like 3-bet us, to a committing amount, or even like have the button flat us. We'll have to play a pot out of position against someone who has way more chips than us. So yeah, I think that folding is okay here, but I think King 8 suited is definitely a very strong hand, and this is like definitely the top of our range that we're folding, I guess. Like I think we gotta open King 9 suited. Yeah, I just think that would be too nitty to fold that. So I mean, King 8 suited is pretty close, but because it can't make a straight, I guess that's why we opted to let it go. But yeah, I mean, if we cover any of those stacks, it's a much clearer open, in my opinion. Five 3 off here. We could defend against some players, but not on me because he'll play pretty well against his post, so kind of negates the okay odds we're getting, which would be reason enough to call against someone who's weak post flop. Now we have pocket 9s in the small blind, and we raise a little less than 2.5x, trying to induce a 3-bet from the BB. Ideally a 3-bet shift that we could just snap off, but if they flat, we get an ace jack jack board and just check it because it's not a very good flop for 9s. They check back, and we decided to just bet small in the 8 turn to not allow a 4th heart to roll off for free, or any number of straight draw cards, and we figure we can get like some thin value from 8x, and maybe even have like some king high, so call it king queen king 10. Yeah, we're basically just going for thin value and trying to pot control by checking. Like they could bet us off the best hand, so we prefer to just kind of make a block bet, set the price, and then kind of like evaluate what we think the range is depending on like their timing, like how quickly they call. They call, and then we get another 8 in the river, and we're just done with the hand now. Because I mean, they could easily have an ace, they could have a jack, they could have a boat now with an 8. I mean, like even if we really thought they had an 8 in the turn, they were calling. Now they obviously have a better hand than us. So really not too much that we're beating here, except maybe like king queen, king 10, queen 10. I think queen 10 is the most likely hand that they would be bluffing here with. Because I mean, even like king queen, king 10 could easily just check back for showdown value on the river. So I mean, they bet and we easily fold because it's a pretty bad board for our hand. 10 deuces suited, baby. Under the gun opens, under the gun, +1 calls, but 3 bets, easy figure default for us. Now we get the queen and the SB, facing a raise from UTG, and a call from UTG +1, or the cutoff, depending on how you want to look at it. And we just shippity dip it in for however many blinds that is, like, about 13.5 blinds. And with the stack size, just going all in is the clear play. We don't have enough room to just 3-bet call them. I mean, it just looks so strong. We were just do like a normal size 3-bet. So we're just more apt to get looked up by worse pairs and like aces that we're far ahead of, like ace jack, ace 10, when we ship it here. So I mean, it's just the clear play. So we do so, and they both just didn't have very good hands, so we take it down. And add a pretty solid amount to our stack. And we will conclude part 6 of the $22 Mini Monday 6 Max Hand History review here. Hope you guys learned something, and hope to see you back for part 7.